yeah, just, be ready to play. The games keep coming. They come fast. Everyone in the league is good. You got to be ready. You got to play with an edge. Our defense wasn't very good. Our rebounding wasn't very good. And if we're going to rely just strictly on offense, we're going to pay a price for it.
Hello and welcome into the Knicks-Verse. My name is George, and if this is your first time here, please subscribe and turn on the notification bell. Also, the thumbs ups, very important, and drop your comments. Please, love the comments. All right, well, that was a really tough loss. We just watched Game 10 of the Knicks season. They dropped the game 126-109 to the Cleveland Cavaliers at Madison Square Garden on a Sunday game. This was a very... this game hurts, I gotta say. It hurts. It's very disappointing to have lost this game. Now, one thing I want to get into really first is look at that score. That's the end of the third quarter. We were up by 1 at the end of the half. We come out. I was even, messaging with Keith, Sports Vibes TV, and JD Sports Night. We're like, and I said, you know what? I got to maybe, I think the Knicks are going to come out in the third quarter and they're going to step on the gas and hopefully they'll just blow them out. They'll get a good lead and just, coast. The exact opposite happened. The exact opposite. The Knicks let another team come into their home court and do to them what they should have done. That is unacceptable. Unacceptable. I'm going to get into the details of it. I'm going to break it down. And I'm going to show you guys where the Knicks really fell apart. Now, mind you, it was a career night for Mr. Rubio. He's been playing professional basketball since he was 14. He came into the Garden and lit us up. Remember, he did not start. He came off the bench to shoot 13 of 19. Insane. He hit a career best 8 of 9 3-pointers. So, and to finish with 37 points and 10 rebounds. I mean, outstanding. So you can almost say, oh, hey, you know what? All right, we got beat by someone's career night. Well, you could say that, but I'm not going to go with that. I find it unacceptable. Even when another player has a career night, when you are a better team, especially playing at home, you should win the game. Figure it out by any means necessary to win the game. There were many people, players that are responsible for what happened today, including Coach Thibs, and I will get into it. But before that, let's look at this tweet here from Ian Begley. This is right after the game ended. Julius Randle cited energy, fight, and will when asked about New York's defensive shortcomings after loss to Cleveland. Randle said New York might not have proper edge coming into games. Randle said, I'll take accountability. I've got to be better to help team play with an edge. There's that word again, edge. The lack of edge continues to haunt this team. I think this team just thinks they can shoot their way to victory, regardless of what they do on the defensive end. Well, we saw tonight that is just not possible. Now, yes, Rubio went off. He did. And, the super rook, Evan Mobley, who you guys know I love his game. He shot 11 of 15, even hit 2 of 4 3-pointers, 9 rebounds, 5 assists for the big man. 5 assists to finish with 26 points. I think that's his short career high. I'm not sure. Jared Allen also hurt us. 8 of 15, 17 rebounds. And yet, the Knicks made a valiant effort in the fourth quarter. So there are some bright things to look at. There are some positives in this very, very painful, devastating loss that sunk the team record now to 6-4. We're actually a half game behind the Cavs now in the Eastern Conference standings. Yeah, they're 7-4 now. And I want to show you something else too. Let's see if this will ever switch over. There it is. I tweeted this out earlier today before the game began. Cavs have been playing some good basketball this season. They're no longer an easy W. Knicks better be focused tonight. Let's go. Well, they didn't go. They didn't bring the focus. The word edge and focus, I think they're using this word edge. I actually think it's more focus, but whatever you want to call it. It means not applying the effort on the court, on the defensive end. Because it really comes down to that. Because the Knicks tonight, here we'll go to the final score, 126-109. So this is the most points we've scored in a loss all year, 109 points. We scored 109 points. You know, we didn't make any only one field goal in the last almost 4 minutes of the game. And it was mostly because by that point, the game was out of hand. And finally, we brought in the rest of the bench and stuff. So, we probably could have scored more. But the Cavs just kept killing us in that fourth quarter, man. Every time we made a run, we got it closer and closer. They would just hit a big shot and just pull away further. Yeah, this was painful. Let's go to the highlights here. All right, the game began, and another thing, because you guys know I'm not a fan of Colin Sexton's game. Well, one of the key reasons that they were able to explode is because he actually hurt his knee in the first half and didn't come back into the game. He didn't play in the third quarter, and Ricky Rubio came in, and boom, that changed everything. Because Sexton is a minus player. He's not a winning player, in my opinion. And in fact, even when the Cavs came back and won against the Raptors the other night, it wasn't because of Sexton. He actually wasn't even on the court when they actually made that final push. So these are some things, interesting, weird dynamics that happened. It was a sold-out arena at Madison Square Garden. I mean, last night they had the big, UFC match there. And none of that fight was in the Knicks in that third quarter, especially. So you can see we got off, we got off again to a rocky start. Here we are, 15-11, little over halfway through the first quarter. Fournier, he actually gave us some nice offense in the first quarter, but the third quarter was just a total disaster. In fact, let's go to the second half because that's what it was all about. And unfortunately, that's probably the best moment of RJ's offensively of the night right there. When he tied the game. Here's the third quarter. We start out 57-57. And right there, see that basket? That's the last lead that the Knicks had in the game. That was at 10-19 left in the third quarter. That was it. The Cavs shot 13 of 23, 56.5% in that third quarter. They shot 6 of 7 from behind the arc, 85.7% three-point percentage. They got 14 rebounds. They scored 33 points. We scored 18 points in that third quarter. We were outscored by 15 points in the third quarter, and that was the whole game. We shot 1 of 9 from behind the arc, 7 of 22 overall. We were out rebounded by 4, and the assists. They got 6 assists in the third quarter. We got 3. I want you guys to make note of the assists because this is what's happened with the assists with the Knicks and in the 5 games coming into this game. The Knicks had been outperformed with assists, out-assisted by 24. We'd given the other team, the opponents had gotten a total of 124 assists, and we gotten only 100 in the past 5 games. That means we averaged 20 assists a game. where the other team averaged 25 or so. Tonight, the Cavaliers got 31 assists, and we got our 21. So that's 10 more assists. The ball movement is just not happening. And that's probably one of the reasons why our guys like Fournier and RJ are just not getting quality looks. Also, they missed some shots. RJ was just off. Let me get into RJ in the third quarter. He was 0 for 4 in the third quarter, and Fournier was 0 for 5. So, our technically our two best shooters that were on the floor were 0 for 9 combined. 0 for 6 total combined from behind the arc. They were both 0 for 3. RJ was a minus 12 in that third quarter, and Fournier was a minus 15. Man. And guess who hit all 4 of his three-pointers in that quarter? Ricky Rubio. I believe that was a career best for him. Yeah. That's how, look at this moment here. I mean, they had hustle, though, in the fourth quarter. They came out. They had hustle. Coming out into the fourth quarter, Quentin Grimes made an appearance in this game, and it really made a difference. And IQ had a very, very good game also as well. Actually, IQ, he ended up scoring 12 points. He shot 3 of 8 total, 2 of 5 from behind the arc. He got 5 assists. So he was even doing some playmaking, which is really nice. This is the moment right here, I think. Is this the one? No. No, the game was already out of hand pretty much here. It was already out of hand. So this is what happened in the fourth quarter. So at 6:37 mark in the fourth quarter, Grimes hits a 3 to cut the lead to 6. So it was 103-97. Yeah. 103-97. And, let's just go over here. So he cut the lead to 103-97. So we were down by 6. It was pretty nice. I thought, wow, with 6:37 left in the game and the way they were playing, they hustled to get us back. They cut this. I mean, the lead had ballooned to 16, and they cut it down to 6. Awesome. I thought this was going to do it. And then Dylan Windler comes in and hits a corner 3 that just crushed us. But then, we kept battling back. And at the 5:25 mark, IQ hit a big 3 and cut the lead down to 8. So it was 109-101. So it looked like, okay, And then Julius came back in the game, and so did Derrick Rose. And at the 4:15 mark, Julius drove. He got fouled. He only hit one of the 2 free throws. But, cut the lead down to 7. It was 111-104. All right. Then the Cavs proceeded to go on a 9-0 run to put the lead up to 122-106, and that was the game. That was it. We had no response. That was it. Let's look at the the team stats here. You can see, the Cavs just shot 54.4% overall. We shot 55.9, almost 46. 46%. And you can see this game. It's really, it's hurt me. It hurt me. I'm sure we're all hurting right now. Look at that. We shot only 29% from behind the arc. We only took 31 threes. The Cavs took 35. They hit 19 for 54.3%. And that was really, Rubio was just crazy. The free throws, we did hit our free throws. Though we did miss 2 free throws in the fourth quarter where we really could have used them at the time when we were trying to make that push to get over the hump. That's what was so great about the Bucks game, because we made that push and we got over the hump. We came back and just stormed our way to victory, where tonight we just could not put that together. And I think it's got to be, there's only one reason. These Knicks don't take what they perceive as weaker opponents seriously enough. I think that's the case. Now, yes, tonight our number 2 scorer, our incredible RJ Barrett, did not have an incredible night. He had a very terrible night tonight. He was terrible. He overall, he only gave 6 points. He shot 3 of 13, 0 for 6 from behind the arc. Nothing, only 3 rebounds, 2 personal fouls. Let's see, 4 turnovers. 4 turnovers for RJ, and they were careless. And he made a couple in the third quarter when the game was getting out of hand. That was really disappointing. I really was like, what? How can this be happening? The Cavs in the fourth quarter shot 14 of 19, 73.7%. So, and the Knicks made a comeback. So it's pretty incredible to think. I mean, a lot of those they scored after once the game just kind of clicked, kind of spun out after the 4-minute mark. Oh boy, let's see here. Rubio hit 5 of 6 in the fourth quarter, 2 of 3 3-pointers for 14 points. Overall, they scored 37 points in the fourth quarter, and we scored 34 points. So the defensive intensity kicked up to get us back into this game, but the offense also started clicking. But then we just could not keep them at bay. Mobley hurt us with a couple of threes. I think those 2 threes that he hit were in the fourth quarter. I think we're double teaming at the wrong time. We're switching at the wrong times. We have to. I mean, if we get beat, if the initial defender gets beat, you have to make sure someone is covering the guy you're releasing from. We're just not there yet. We're not there yet. Even though when this team wants to play great, when they're focused and they have that edge, they can literally beat anybody. We saw it the other night. We've beaten some very good teams. In fact, the teams at the top, which are the Sixers, the Bulls, we beat them. And we beat the Bucks. They're not at the top in the standings right now, but they're definitely going to be one of the top teams. It's the other teams that give us the trouble. I gotta say, the Knicks need to get back to believing that they're underdogs every single night, because that's how they played last season. You are now the hunted, Knicks. It's very different to be the hunted than being the hunter. Last season, you guys were out for blood. You guys wanted to prove something. I think in some ways, the way the Knicks are playing, they're playing like they've already proven something. And now they're kind of like thinking, a moderate effort is enough to win. Well, tonight is a night that shows you that was totally wrong. Now, they play the Sixers tomorrow night. It's a back-to-back. Kemba didn't start tonight. I didn't even get into that. Rose started. And you know what? He did not have that good a game. He was a minus 20. Yeah, he gave us 17 points. He shot 8 of 14. So he did his job from that standpoint. He got 5 assists. But, 1 rebound, 1 steal, minus 20. Julius was a minus 22. He gave us 19 points, 7 rebounds, 7 assists, though. 1 of 5 from behind the arc. We just could not shoot 3-pointers. We could not. But let's look at some of the shine. Let's before I wrap this up, let's talk about some of the bright spots. One of the bright spots was Immanuel Quickley, like I talked about before. He came in, got 5 assists, like I said. He was only a minus 4, 12 points. He came in, he had energy. His defense, he actually had some really nice perimeter defensive intensity. He hit all 4 of his free throws. But the other guy who was a bright spot was Quentin Grimes. He came in, 6 points. He had 2 out of 3 of his 3-pointers. And Alec Burks, he is in the first half, he was just a non-entity. But he picked it up in the second half. He shot, even though he only shot 2 of 7 overall, his defensive intensity was there. He hit 5 of 6 of his free throws, and he ended up with a +3. There were only 2 guys on the whole team that were plus and a plus minus, and the other one was Obi. And Obi was another bright spot. 11 points. He was a +5 overall. Got 2 rebounds, 1 assist. Hit all 3 of his free throws. And he did not miss a bucket. He was 4 for 4 from the field. This is the mistake that I think Thibs made. I think he should have kept that unit on the court that fought back and got us down to that 6 points. They cut the lead down to 6 points. He should have kept going with them. I understand the rationale behind the move. He figured, oh wow, okay, that unit, they were scrappy, they fought hard, they got it down to 6. Now we'll bring in my All-NBAer and my MVP, and those 2 will take us home to the victory. Totally backfired. Because that other unit had chemistry. That other unit was moving the ball. That other unit was, the defensive intensity was there. They were causing turnovers, deflections. Once those 2 came into the game, the energy shifted. And it's almost like the team just kind of hit a wall. And then Rubio, once again, boom, hits a key bucket. Boom, Garland hit a key 3. Who else hit another key 3? The Dylan Wilder 3 was just devastating. So, what team's gonna show up tomorrow night? What team of the Knicks is gonna show up? Well, Kemba's gonna play tomorrow night, so that's a positive. And Rose played 29 minutes tonight, which is, so he wasn't, burnt out. We didn't play him. One thing that I was worried was, like, we come back, make a huge comeback, and then they tie the game, go into overtime, and then if they didn't pull it out, we would have totally exhausted this team, the players, for the big match tomorrow night. They're going to go to Philadelphia to play the Sixers, and let me tell you, a win there will really, really make up for tonight, and that is what I'm expecting. Because I'm expecting this unit to come out with what that word says right there. Edge. Nothing gives you more of an edge than dropping a game like today on your home court to the Cavs. Alrighty. Well, thank you so much for watching this. If this is your first time here, please subscribe and turn on the notification bell. And, if you've been here before and haven't subscribed, please do so. Thumbs ups and drop your comments. Love those. Alrighty. Well, I will see you guys around the Knicks-Verse.